And here we are, game 3 of Kolll from Germany against Fenix from Peru. We've already seen like two really interesting games, just big momentum shifts going on. Because in game 2 we just saw Fenix easily walk right in there with Marines, and even if he didn't have the opportunity to win right then and there, I mean, you still saw how Fenix was just backing everything up with incredibly strong play. And then Kolll, which, as you know, he's very young. He's actually playing this game from the fetus on a monitor left-handed. He's a very talented young player from Germany. He did this unbelievable mutilus control in game 1 and just completely decimated his opponent. So, I mean, we're not having any sort of one-sidedness in this series, which is great. Both players are really playing in tip-top shape. We're already seeing a super cool scout pattern going on here by this first Overlord. Hopefully just, coming out here to make sure that there's no cheese going on. So that way we get to see a really long game on this map, which I think is probably my favorite map to watch games on.
Oh, and speaking of cheese, we look at 8 out of 10, and we look at a barracks, so it looks like there's going to be a little bit of bunker rush. And the positioning of the barracks, he's not going to be able to see it until, it's coming. So I'm going to be interested to see if Kolll does that kind of 12 pool build and scouts it, then he should be fine. But if he does a 12, oh no, he is doing the 12 pool. Now this is interesting because if he scouts the barracks, he's going to be in a very advantageous position. He'll make Zerglings, then he'll expand, and then he'll be ahead. The problem is when you do this build, you get the layer so quickly that if you don't scout, your Zerglings actually come out later than if you did a 12 hatch 11 pool build, and then you die to the bunker because it's done before you have Zerglings. So it's really going to be on Kolll to see if he's going to scout and put the pieces together to stop this bunker rush.
And what's actually nice about Terran's build in this position... Ooh, a second barracks coming out. Ooh, fancy. What's nice is that, especially given the setup with the double barracks, if anything fails, you just get, 3-4 Marines at your ramp, which you're gonna have, put an SCV there, lift and back up, and it's really difficult for the Zerg to actually break that with any count of sunken colonies. Any count of Zerglings, unless you want to be real creative and sunk push your Terran opponent. And then that gives the Terran the opportunity to expand to the outside ring and then eventually to the center area. I mean, this looks very similar to what Fantasy did against Jaedong in the Pro League All-Star Finals in their epic game on Outsider. I mean, just really nice aggression going to come right out. And we've already seen from Game 2 that Kolll sometimes might be a little bit underprepared for that.
So this is a little strange. It looks like he wasn't doing the quick muta build. This was actually a defensive 12 pool, and if you ask me, 12 pool is actually the worst build in ZVT. So a little strange to see Kolll doing that. It's in this kind of gray area where. Oh, was it an overpool? My mistake then. Looks like Fenix has somehow figured out that this isn't. It's not the right time to be bunker rushing. A cute thing that kind of happened on there, when he moved the SCV down, the Overlord was coming from the south, so he assumed Kolll was at the bottom right position, and that's why he scouted down there. So now it looks like we're going to be able to transition into standard play. We've got 2 barracks up. Okay, maybe a little less standard. Here comes a bunch of SCVs and Marines pushing in towards Koll's natural.
Oh my god, and only 1 hatchery worth of units, a layer going down for Kolll, but I mean, look at this, a whole bunch of Marines coming. Look at this beautiful timing. The hatch has not quite finished yet. I mean, it's almost at 1,200 hit points. It's getting close to being done, but we're already seeing Terran units halfway across the map, and even if this fails, still pretty good economy going on here from the Terran. And uh-oh, here comes Sunken Colony going down. Do you think he'll be able to hold it off?
I think he's going to be able to hold it off. The drone's coming in, but not really doing anything in the back. Oh my god, all the Zerglings going down almost instantly. Now he's got to get that Sunken Colony dead. No Zergling speed for the Zerg. Drone's coming around to surround. He's got to be careful, Fenix. You got to pull his... Looks like he doesn't even care. He's just going to stand his ground, take those drones out. Every drone save 1 going down, and there is GG. What a quick victory by Fenix.
Jesus, yet another example of just super early game aggression completely throwing Kolll off his game. I mean, Kolll really loving his 2-hatch Mutalisk openings. I mean, I, like you, thought he was probably going to be okay, but ended up just catching all his stuff a little bit too far up north by that top wall, so the SCVs were able to just crunch everything together, and it was a super thin little entrance that all those Zerglings and drones had to work their way through, and it just got eaten alive.
Yeah, and it seems at this point Fenix has Koll's number. Kolll is making enough to defend the initial bunker rush, but kind of getting a little slacky there, not following up on scouting. And Fenix said, "Hey, if I can kill you, I'm gonna do it now." He doesn't need to make it look fancy, just get the job done.
Yeah,
And that's what he
seriously.
did there, 2 times in a row. Now we're moving on to kind of a more standard map that everyone's seen, everyone knows this very well, and I'm sure Kolll and Fenix have both played, thousands of games on Destination.
Yeah, I mean, Destination, I gotta say, is just one of my favorite maps of all time. It allows for all these sorts of cool little harassment possibilities, and what has to be really nice for Kolll is that big double bridge. Oh, the double bridge is so huge in this, on this map. It makes things so much easier to defend. I mean, you really can't do these nutty antics with, two barracks marine jank. I mean, really what's going to happen is any amount of sunken colonies or units at the front is going to completely shut it down. So it gives players a nice opportunity to not die to something super early. It's the stuff, in the late early game that really you got to start worrying about again. Like someone trying to sneak around your backside. A lot of factory floats, a lot of two-port wraith action can be really obnoxious.
Right, and also on Destination, I don't want to say it's better, but maybe it's better on this map than another map. Is mech play is very strong. Now, the thing about mech play, I don't foresee Fenix doing it, and this is because he only plays TVZ. A lot of people draw their mech experience, their push mechanics from TVP. Fenix doesn't have that to draw from, so he's probably only comfortable playing with barracks play, and that's just going to be my guess. And that can get a little dirty if they've got 2 hatch mutas flying around, abusing your big main, and coming in from behind that cliff to pick off Marines. Can be hard. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I actually don't mind Medic Marine as much as other players do on this map. A lot of players just seem to think it's, all mech all the time. But you can get some really, really nice control if you can get good setup in the center. So, really, I think this is a great instance where we should discuss the idea of just do what you've practiced, If you're comfortable going Medic Marine, just ignore what everyone else says and just do it, because that is what's going to get you, the highest win percentage.
Okay, word just coming in that Fenix does play TVP. Ignore everything I've ever said. This is game 4. Let's see if Fenix can wrap it up. Let's do it.